When I started the project, I started reading some books. Actually, one in particular that just came out this past year, although it might have been 2016, I'm not sure now, I've had it for a while, is Ben Rollins's City of Thorns. A very good book, and it talks about the refugees in the refugee camp called Dadaab, which is in Kenya. And it's a fascinating, very blunt and truthful book about exactly, how these refugee camps are created, and how the people inside are treated, the politics behind it, and how the influences, the powers, the foreign powers, the powers of the world, the United States, Europe, the countries such as Kenya and others, how they will give attention to the refugee camps, and then they will just disappear, depending upon the politics surrounding those particular countries. So how there's 9 lives that Ben focuses on in this, and so you go through listening to how each of these characters came to the refugee camp, and how they made a living in the refugee camp. These are cities. These are not, when you think of camp, you think of like a campground or something like that, or a bunch of tents, maybe 100 tents, 500 tents. There are thousands and thousands of people in here, but they've been there for so long. Some of them were born there, and now they've grown up. So there's a whole entire economy, and it's dependent upon the outside world, and there's a lot of corruption in the local government that works with the refugees and the people in power in the refugee camp, and there's corruption within the refugee camp as well. So anyway, it's a very powerful book, and there's 2 songs part of the choral project. There's Lamia's song, and then there's My Name is Lamia, Don't Call Me Refugee. And in My Name is Lamia, Don't Call Me Refugee, there's a middle section, which is an aleatoric section. It starts on page, let's see if I can find it now. Here we go. It starts on page 15, and it's measure 96. And basically it is a section where the footsteps kind of disappear. There are footsteps in this, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But in this part, this middle section, there are certain names mentioned of refugees, and there are refugees that I came about through this book, City of Thorns, and another book. They're not all of the names that are in here are of refugees that I read about. One actually is Wyclef Jean, who's a famous singer, part of what I think is called the Fugees, if I'm not mistaken, and he's from Haiti. But there's names in here that are from City of Thorns. Guled is one of the names, and Professor Wide Eyes is one of the names. So those are 2 of the names, and then I believe I have Nisho in here. Let me take a look here. Do I have Nisho? There's Nisho. So 3 different names, 3 different people that are covered in City of Thorns.